Yeah, welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions Blizzard Special. I'm your host, Art Carlson, here. Uh, in Arvada, Colorado, we've got a blizzard going on here in the Denver metro area. We're supposed to get up to about 9 inches of snow, and it started snowing at about 8 o'clock this morning, and it was snowing really hard. But now that the temperatures have dropped, the flakes are smaller, but it's still coming down fairly good. So, this is a special show that I'm doing this afternoon. Hopefully, we get a few people in the panel. We'll talk about drones, we'll talk about anything hobby related. Uh, we'll talk about DJI, Bugs drones, FPV, whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about here. Hey, Rick Halbert, welcome to the show. So hopefully Mitch got my message and we'll be in shortly. Bob Casey, welcome to the show. Uh, so this is the and Bob Casey. Oh, Bob Casey, I already said. Uh, yeah, this is the Blizzard special show. So what's going on here? The usual stuff going on all week is still going on. Went shopping this morning. Got a few things. Luckily, I didn't need a whole lot, so I got an eggplant to make some eggplant parmesan. And what else? Oh, some bread. And what else? I wanted to get instant oatmeal, and they are out. All that's left are these flavored oatmeal. And me, I like plain oatmeal. I don't want all this extra stuff. I don't want extra fruits on. Michael Blade, welcome to the show. Yeah, so I don't want anything fancy. I just want to put milk and some sugar on it and have a nice hot breakfast. So, I know what I did. I got a couple of chocolate donuts. So, didn't spend a whole lot of money there. Came right home. Oh, you like the brown maple? Yeah, those are pretty good. Those are pretty good. I've also had the banana, and those aren't bad either. Banana, and I had the chocolate chip one. That was pretty good. Yeah. It's kind of like eating a unbaked oatmeal cookie with chocolate chips in instead of raisins. So yeah, when I got back to the car, it was snowing heavier. Mike Roach, welcome to the show. You know what, Mike? I will send you a link. Let's see, Mike Roach. Blizzard show link. All right, there you go, Mike. I sent you a link. So what's going on? I guess what Congress is talking about, they're going to give us, they're going to send us two $1,000 checks. We'll get one in April and one in May, and we'll have a payroll tax holiday, which will be good, and I think that'll helps jumpstart the economy because uh, this thing has really put a big dent in the economy, and we gotta help out the folks that are, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, and if they're not working and rent's coming up, they gotta do something. So this will help out a lot of folks. So looking forward to that. Uh, Company I work for, we make braces, and I don't expect us to shut down because I haven't heard anything from the company. Otherwise, the big boss would be sending me a text or an email saying, "Don't come, we're shut down." But I haven't heard. So, come Monday when I get back to work, I think I think things will be back to normal there. On the downside, they're doing overtime this week in my department. And it figures I take vacation the week that they're having overtime. That would help me out a bit too. So, uh, what's going on? So I was looking at mods for the MJX Buds 3 because what I'm thinking about doing is adding an FPV camera to replace the little light that's on the front. Then that way I could put my SJ cam on the drone, and I could use the FPV camera to kind of steer the drone, and I could take really nice video with the SJ cam and just use the FPV goggles to kind of, you know, point the camera in the right direction and try and get some cinematic video out of that. And plus, it'll help me kind of hone my skill in FPV flying. So that's just one thing I could do. Uh, and it looks like those cameras just plug in right on to the main board of the Buds 3. All you do is you disconnect the plug for the light that goes in the front housing of the Buds 3, and you could stick a camera right in there, and it's got a little slot in there to where you can adjust the camera up or down. I mean, it's not a you have to do it manually. You can't do it with via controls. So so that's one of the things I've been thinking about doing. So hopefully, okay. Who else is out there? I sent a link to Steve Carpenter and to Ken Heron and Marcus. Hopefully, those guys could jump in and be part of the stream. So, uh, Mike Roach, okay. We're waiting for Mike, and it'll be a cool show. Got a chance to watch the rest of Ken Heron's first live stream, and boy, that was a different show. I mean, they had a lot of technical difficulties, mainly with the audio, but you got to see what his show looked like almost 3 years ago. And this is like July of 2017. and Ken looked a little different. He looked a little thinner than. Not saying he's fat now. He just, he's 53 for crying out loud. Uh, we all get a little bigger as we get older, but that's just a metabolism thing as you get older. So hopefully we can get a nice panel going here and make this a nice little show that we got going here. So how's it up? There we go. There's Mr. Mike Roach.
Hey, Art. Hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Your audio good?
Timeless Troops is in the chat. Welcome, welcome. So,
Yeah.
how's the weather out there in New York?
Right now I'm looking at it's about 48, 47 degrees outside, and it's just grass out there. You guys are getting clobbered, huh?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
snowing pretty hard this morning, and now it's kind of let up, and it's because the temperature is starting to drop, so we're getting finer flakes, but it's still coming down pretty good, and the wind is starting to pick up, and they said we'll get anywhere from 3 to 9 inches here in the
Wow.
Denver area. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you guys out in Colorado, it's in April you get that stuff.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yeah. March is usually our snowiest month of the year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. With us here, it's January and February are the coldest, and that can be snowiest depending on the wind direction,
Right.
lake effect, snow, and
Right.
stuff. But March we've gotten clobbered. We've gotten 3-foot storms in March, but
Wow.
also usually by mid-March we're kind of at the end of it right now.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Once St. Patrick's Day comes, we kind of think spring's here.
Yeah.
But we'll get 5-6 inches here and there.
Well, and what's weird here is yesterday we were up in the upper 60s, and I was able to finally fly my drone outside and got some great photos of the Westminster Castle.
Oh, I saw those on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
I like that tower.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that how close you were able to get?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Next time I go, I'll get a little closer, and I'll make sure my batteries are all topped off.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't charged them for 2 or 3 days, and I just went out there, threw them in, and by the time I got going, it was like 50% battery. And by the time I got to the third photograph, I was just thinking about, okay, I'm going to switch over to video, and I'm going to kind of swing around to the front and kind of go up the tower. And that's when I got that battery warning. And I didn't want to do a Mikey and say, look at that dynamic range. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't mess with it. When my battery says come home, unless it's super close to me, the drone.
Yeah.
I don't mess with that. Once I get down to 27, 25%, I don't care. I'm coming home.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's tomorrow. We're supposed to have 70 degrees here.
Wow.
And but it's going to be rainy. Otherwise, I would do a little fly around. There's nothing to look at in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go anywhere because there's no leaves on the trees and stuff. But plus we're all kind of quarantining in place and
that's
whatnot.
true.
So, but it's good to get out. It's probably therapeutic to get out of the house and feel some normalcy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might go back to that castle maybe tomorrow or Saturday. early in the day when there's still snow on the ground and get some photos and video place.
Oh yeah,
That'd be kind of cool. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So well, hopefully, you guys don't get any more. I mean, of course, what we're only not even 2/3 through March, right? So
Yeah,
you'll still get some.
yeah. Oh, we'll get snow as late as May or June.
Yeah.
Yep,
So see, you got Michael Blade, Steve Mack,
yep.
um, Timeless Truths,
Hmm.
and a few people in here.
Yep.
How you doing, guys? And yeah, I got my Mavic Air. My battery's out, it charged up, and I,
Yep.
I kind of use it from like when I'm really stuck in the home for the winter, like my indoor flying around stuff.
No,
You know,
okay.
to buzz around, kill the batteries and have a little fun. But
Yep.
it's a nice, uh, you know, it's a great outdoor drone too. I mean, that
Yeah,
thing,
it is.
thing kills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we hear all this talk about what's new with drones. I don't want to spend a nickel this year on a new drone if I can help.
Yeah, me neither.
You know,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
so Matt, I'm glad whatever uh, DJI, what they're not coming out with a new Mavic 3, and
Right.
it doesn't look like, and God knows what that photo was, you know,
Yeah.
that's going around.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've only had one summer with my Mavic 2, basically,
Right.
and
Right.
I love it. There's like nothing to improve except
Yeah.
battery life. Always want more battery life.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm happy as a clam.
Hmm.
You know.
Oh yeah, and I love my Mavic Air. They say you get up to 20 minutes. Yeah, I think really you get about 15
Hmm.
because
Yeah, but that's a good amount of time in the air.
yeah, yeah,
You
and
know.
you gotta remember most of that time is recalibrating the compass. Seems like every time I take that out, you gotta okay. Oh gee, it's either that or it's updating the firmware, and you
Yeah,
gotta wait for that to do it before you get the fly. And by the time you do, oh, your battery's down to 80 or 75%.
yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I know what I just did a first time calibration of is the optical sensors. The collision sensors. I've
yeah,
never had to calibrate those before,
yeah.
and my drone's been saying calibrate the sensors. So this last week I did it. First time ever using that DJI assistant, and it's actually quite easy to do.
Oh, cool.
And thankfully it like went through without glitching up, no problems,
Right?
and calibrated 2 drones, and each one said you're good to go. So I
Right?
was happy with that. And I watched a video. That guy Flight Path in California.
No, not.
He has a big drone channel. Um, this guy Aldrin Astachio, I think his name is.
Mhm.
You may have met him at Spin Up. I know he's been to Spin Up.
Oh, okay.
He has a great video on how to properly do the calibration of the optical sensors.
Right.
And like you got to like pretend your drone is on a tripod head and
Right.
point it at these different dots, and not move the drone around like this, but point it at the dots. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
okay.
and I'm glad I got to see that first, and it worked first time around.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm good to go. Looking forward to the season.
Hmm.
See the
Yeah,
Hubson
me too.
501 SS. Um, yeah, Hubson. There's so many of these names now. It's like Zeno. I guess they got
Right.
a pretty decent drone out now for $500 or so.
Yep.
What is that? And the Hubson. I know
Tell.
the name. I don't. I never. I don't know the models they have.
Right.
And I think a lot of us just kind of stick with whatever we started with.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I got spoiled with a DJI.
Right. Right.
So, boy, am I white art.
Yeah.
because I don't want to mess with my camera settings because normally it's nighttime when I'm in here,
Right.
and I don't want to mess with the white balance or anything though.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not even sunny out; it's just
Right.
cloudy.
Right.
So,
Oh,
but I don't want to look
I,
orange.
I see Mitch is in the chat. Mitch,
Hey,
I sent you a link if you want to jump in and uh, do a little bloviating on my show. And
yeah, Bob Casey.
Bob Casey, and then there's Rick Halber. Yep. So we got a good group in today.
Yeah.
Good
How
day
you,
to build up some watch time.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you. How are you doing on that? You have to keep that watch time up, right? As well
Yeah, I believe so.
in
Yeah.
any given calendar year, or does it? Is there a reset date, or is it just any 12-month period?
I think it. I think you got to be consistent, and then it
Continuous.
starts dropping off some of your early hours. But I'm seeing kind of a gradual increase in my watch time.
Yeah,
So yeah, if you want to help me out, you could go to my playlist, go to the live streams, and just click run all, turn down the volume, and just kind of let it
yeah,
run. Hmm.
yep. I've done that once already, and I'm gonna head out in a little while, pick up
Okay,
some Chinese food for dinner.
okay.
Because right now the restaurants are all closed
Yeah, I know.
here.
Same here. It's
Yeah,
takeout only.
yeah.
Yeah,
But this place I go to for takeout all the time. In
right.
fact, they I call them and they know me by name, so they run it out to the car for me and put it. I open the hatchback and they set it in there. So when I
Ah,
come home, it's easy for me to get. So and something different, and I also there's a company called Freshly. It's one of those food delivery companies.
right,
You get it in a box and it's
right.
freshly made food. And I
Oh,
got to say, it's pretty good stuff. I've been using that for my meals for a while. And right
right.
now, since we all want to stay away from the grocery stores if we can help it,
Yeah.
it's actually working out pretty
Oh,
well.
great.
You know, and
Hmm.
they're a little pricey.
Yeah,
It's definitely not for everybody. You know.
yeah. Well, I
And
went.
you probably got some frozen fish in the freezer, don't you?
And those are pretty much eaten up right
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I went to the grocery store this morning, and they're out of bologna.
Oh really?
Yeah. All that's
Huh.
left is like turkey bologna, and I don't know if I want. I'm kind
Yeah.
of I'm an old guy. I like bologna. I don't want this. I don't want tofu bologna, turkey bologna, or I just want plain old bologna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I'm from the Northeast, which is like there used to be an Italian restaurant in every corner. You know what I mean? And but I've gotten used to turkey sausage, like Italian sausage, but
Yeah.
made out of turkey, and I think it's better than the actual pork stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
from the same company, and it's like
Right.
I like it to really be spicy, and it's like, wow, this stuff is good, and
Well,
it's not as unhealthy as the other sausage. It's all unhealthy, you know.
yep.
So,
I have some Italian sausage. It's venison.
oh, venison, yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Yep.
cool.
So
Um, I've tried venison 3 times in my life, and each time I've tried it, the person giving it to me said, you're gonna like mine though," And each time I tried, I was like, oh,
uh,
I don't know,
well, it
but
does have a taste to it because they feed off of what's ever there.
yeah,
Leaves and grass and stuff. And
yeah,
but if it's butchered right, and
mm,
it won't have that strong of a flavor. I get mine from my friend Rick Enstrom.
Yeah.
and uh, it got a little bit of flavor, but it's not as bad as some of my other friends who gotten a deer or an elk and they butcher it themselves, or they'll cut up the meat and then take it to their guy, and their meat will have a really strong gamey flavor to it
Yeah.
because it,
Yeah.
there's a special way where you have to uh, butcher it. You gotta drain the carcass, yeah, and all that stuff. And Rick, you know, he's got the funds to do it, and he does it the right way. And his stuff is always that vacuum sealed packages. So I get a lot of ground beef and sausages and steaks, which are good.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Meatball,
Mitch says he likes the turkey sausage as well.
yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yep, I've made some venison meatballs for spaghetti. Yep.
That's cool. Now, what's the best fish you've ever caught and eaten yourself?
I I think it'd have to be walleye.
Walleye.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's that is the best that I've ever had that anyone has ever caught.
Yeah.
Friend of mine went up to Canada and just loaded up on walleye, like
Yeah.
and I tried it at his house, and it was the whitest, most light and flaky fish I ever had.
Yep.
And
That's
it
right.
was better than anything.
Hmm.
You
Oh,
know,
and striper is pretty good. Uh,
yeah,
Not the band striper, but the fish.
yeah. I don't know any of these bands today.
I don't either. Striper was a Christian heavy metal band back in the early '90s. They're still around. They
Yeah,
do a lot of the state fairs and stuff.
yeah.
Uh, uh, what we have here in Colorado is Wiper, which is a hybrid between a striped bass and a white bass. And those are pretty good. But you have to know how to fillet them. You don't want any of the red meat because that's
Hmm.
kind of, from what I hear. Uh, but my friend Rick, he's given me some wiper, and that's been very good as well. Now, crappie, if you get it fresh and you cook it right, that's really good.
Yeah,
Bass, you kind of have to marinate it a little bit to get the fishy flavor out. You could do that with by marinating either in milk or whatever you want.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Ocean fish, let's see, barracuda is pretty darn good.
yeah. Barracuda, huh?
Yep,
The ones with the teeth.
yep.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah,
Michael say he caught a 28 pound striper. You
that's a
can't
big
believe it.
fish.
Oh, yeah, that is a big fish.
Wow.
I was hoping to catch one while I was down there in Florida, but I've rescheduled for May, so I think the wipers will have um, uh, migrated northward.
Hmm.
Where,
Yeah, I
mhm,
think you made the right call not going down there, Art,
yeah,
because the airports were like nuts the next day
yeah,
after you decided not to go. So and
hmm,
now there's no flights to get anywhere.
yeah, hmm,
So yeah.
yeah.
Now
But
hopefully you guys can get together though. That'd be funny.
yeah, that will. And it turns out it's going to be during Mitch's birthday, so I might have to modify that trip a bit. I have a cousin that lives in St. Cloud, which is not too far from Orlando. So I might be able to stay with her for a day or two before I head back to Denver. Uh, Bob Casey says tilapia is good. And you know what? They have tilapia there in Florida that you could catch. Yeah. And that's
Yeah, I've
what.
had tilapia myself in a restaurant before.
Oh yeah, when I for my birthday I had herb roasted tilapia, and it was excellent. It was
Yeah.
really good, and uh, that's my favorite seafood restaurant. And I go every year for my birthday, and I'll try something different. The year before, I had the salmon Oscar. Oh, God, that was good. And I like salmon, but if you eat a lot of it, you kind of get tired of it. You can
Yeah.
get really sick and tired. Now, trout's really good too, and my friend Rick told me a way how to cook it to where it was really good.
Mhm.
Rick said he caught a 107-pound tuna in
Wow.
Hawaii. Wow.
Yeah, they get huge.
Yeah, they can get huge, up to several 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That had to be a fight.
Yep.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I've never. The biggest fish I ever pulled in was a carp when I was a kid. They give you a good fight. I mean,
Oh
we
yeah,
just
they
let it
do.
go.
Hmm.
They're
Well,
fun to catch.
my fishing show is mostly a carp catfish show,
Yeah.
but I will do some other species, and that was the other reason why I wanted to go to Florida was kind of, catch other fish, saltwater
Mm.
fish and freshwater fish, and because of all the invasive species in Florida, I could add to my species list down there.
Right.
They've got peacock bass, which I hear is a real fighter, and they have alligator gar, uh, tilapia, and all kinds of cichlids down there because the idiots down there, they people will get an aquarium and they either get tired of taking care of it or the fish get too darn big. And what do? They dump it in the canal or creek or whatever. And the weather is warm enough in Florida for those fish to thrive, even though they are a tropical fish.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We've heard that around here. With people getting pet alligators, but
Yeah,
it's more like urban legend than anything
yeah,
else here. In the wintertime, they would not make it. And they're not going to live in our sewer systems, kind of.
yeah. That's right. They get they'll be fine during the summer, but once that winter weather hits, it they just die
Yeah, they would be
because they're a
done.
cold-blooded animal.
Yeah. Yep. So, but 28 pound striker.
Stryker, isn't that a medical supply place?
Yeah. When I had my injury, I was on a bed called a striker frame.
Yep.
It's what a
Well, you
torture
know,
device that thing is.
you
But
know, uh, Pat Stryker, she's a billionaire that lives here in Colorado. That was her grandfather that started that
oh, really?
company, and she
Yeah.
inherited a crap load of money. Now she's making. Uh, she made her fortune even bigger in real estate up in the Fort Collins area, and she pretty much controls the city council of Fort Collins and Longmont and Loveland because she's a big time Democrat and uh, contributes a crap load of money. to party. Uh, she's part of the big four of wealthy Democrats that have successfully taken over the state.
Right.
We've got Jared Polis, Pat Stryker, Rut Bridges, and Tim Gill. Very wealthy Democrats.
Yeah.
And one of them's now the governor of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So back to fishing or drones.
see, Bob Casey says, that's right. Pythons are so bad in Florida. People
Yeah.
get tired of them and let them go.
Yep.
Yes.
And from what Mitch said yesterday is that there's an open season on it.
Oh, to kill them?
Yep.
Shoot them? Yeah.
Hmm. They make
Wow.
nice boots and belts and wallets.
Right.
Hmm.
Now, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten that way, Art? Like with other animals, not necessarily fish, but either uh, you know, any kind of reptile or like like I know in the Caribbean, what you call the big lizards there, iguanas.
Iguanas.
They eat them quite a bit, and
I
um,
haven't eaten those, but I have had alligator,
yeah,
and that's quite tasty. It's kind of a like uh, chicken pork kind of flavor,
yeah,
and because we have some Cajun restaurants here in the Denver metro area,
yeah,
and we have a fair in downtown Denver twice a year. One is the People's Fair, and the other one's called the Taste of Colorado. And Taste of Colorado, uh, restaurants will have a booth at the fair, and that's where I tried it with the green hot sauce on it. God, that was good.
yeah. God, so the weirdest thing I ever ate was the big conch shells from the ocean.
Oh yeah, I've had those. Yeah,
Conch,
conch fritters.
and I never ate the solid conch. It was just ground up into like
Yeah,
a fritter or like a dumpling,
yeah,
and it tasted fishy, just like
yeah,
a fishy
yeah.
dumpling.
Kind of like yeah.
You know?
To me, it was more like clams. You
Yeah,
know. Mm.
yeah. But in the Bahamas, those are big.
Yeah, I had those in the Bahamas and in Aruba.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I haven't tried ostrich. From what I understand, it kind of tastes like beef
Like
because
what? Like feet?
beef, beef,
Beef?
cow. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Here every year at the state fair, there's always some weird meat. Like there's gator meat and
Yeah.
buffalo supposedly, and
Yeah, got a lot. We got buffalo ground beef at the grocery store here,
yeah,
but it's kind of pricey.
yeah,
And it's a lot leaner than beef.
yeah,
Bob Casey says, "Do you see much elk roadkill in Denver?" No, not in Denver, but once in a while we'll hear a story of someone driving up in the mountains and encountering an elk and uh, hitting them with their car or truck, and those will do a lot of damage. Now, I did hit a deer once back in 2013, and it messed up my car. It pushed the hood up. Luckily, but luckily for me, it was still drivable. It took out my right fender and the passenger side mirror and the headlamp on the passenger side, and but I got that fixed up, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We get them here. I mean, I live in just a typical suburb, not that many miles outside the city, only a couple miles, and but there are so many deer. There's so many wooded areas. Just an acre here, an acre there, 4 acres here.
Right.
They're thriving like crazy. Just deer, and then coyotes too are starting to be a
Right.
problem.
Yep.
So they're actually starting. Some of the towns have put like bounties out on them where they'll have, professional hunters come in and
Right.
try to get the coyotes. So hate
Hey,
to do it,
we got Bill.
No,
Coast to
Going on?
coast.
I can't stay
What's
long.
up?
My wife will probably kick me out of the office in just a minute.
Okay. Hey, Bill.
Wait. Yeah.
What's that under your nose that's missing?
My beard and mustache are gone. No. Okay. You know how when you get older, you get like those stubborn hairs that will grow in if you got a beard, and they're like a wire.
Yeah.
So I just was like, get it all off.
Oh, okay. I thought it was because of the COVID-19 that you wanted to, because they're telling people to shave their
old
beard.
man, random rogue hair.
Yeah. Well, I get those in my nose. And you get one that's curly and wants to stick outside and kind of go like this all day. But fortunately, I have a electric razor that has an attachment to take care of those.
Well, that's why I went ahead, because I had one up here under my lip and one down here, and I was just like, I'm gonna shave it all off. So,
well, you look a lot younger.
That's why my wife prefers me with a beard. She said that. She said, "What are you trying to do? Look younger?" And I'll look at her and go, "Why do I look younger? Maybe I need to go down to the store."
I think this is the first time, Bill, you and I have ever talked face to face,
or at least virtually. At least virtually, yeah.
Right, virtually anyway, yeah.
It's usually from chat or something. Well, it's chaotic here where we run an adult family home. The state's like changing protocols almost daily. My wife's getting new emails about, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do the other. And we have like an ongoing issue with where property boundaries keep getting imposed upon. And so now I have to like go get fencing and all this other crud. And the thing about it is I just simply wish the people would just stay off the property, and the excuse is, well, it's not really meaning any harm, and I'm like, I just simply, because like I said, it's an adult family home. We take care of people who, are special, and they really don't have the wherewithal to understand nor comprehend nor defend themselves.
Right.
So we're trying to shelter them as much as possible from situations like this. And I just keep getting hard head from the city. So I'm just going to have to step up a little higher and go ahead and drag the state in, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're trying to, because I went round and round with one of the local officers today, and she was basically trying to tell me that even though I owned the property, I had to give in to this because they probably wouldn't prosecute. And I'm like, so you're telling me that I have to spend my money to put up a fence that I have to buy a permit for and I've even had to go buy special signs with the actual explicit city code on it saying that we would prosecute. And then she tells me today, well, that sign, that $35 you spent on that sign's basically useless because they won't prosecute, and I'm like, so basically I don't own my property. And she, at which point she got mad at me and said, I don't like the way you're talking. You're putting words in my mouth. And I'm like, ma'am, you're inferring every bit of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Now, who's going on your property?
We've got a bunch of neighborhood children that literally play in the street. I mean, and I live at the end of a cul-de-sac. Okay. We constantly have deliveries. We have the actual large paratransit buses that continually come in here to pick up the clients, and they will actually impede all this.
Right.
Like yesterday, I was trying to get into my driveway. They were blocking my driveway. So I was trying to swerve where where I thought the child was going to the goal. I swerved the opposite direction, and I was watching to miss a vehicle. The child darted directly in front of my vehicle, and I had to jerk and swerve in order to miss him. And then when I wasn't sure where he was behind the vehicle, I had to back over the curb to get into my driveway.
Wow.
And so I'm at the point of, look, city, you've lost all your cards now. This is a cold case of neglect. I've got cameras in my Jeep. I've got cameras on my home, showing all this. And then them just trying to say, oh, well. And I'm like, that ain't going to fly.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Well, the fact of the matter is the fact that the city is allowing kids to play in the street. And their excuse is trying to say, well, it's a public street. And I'm like, the key word is street. Street. It is inhabited by motor vehicles. It's not sidewalk. It's not a grassy knoll. It's a street.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is the city, by not allowing this to happen, has neglected their responsibility of the safety of these kids and the drivers behind the wheel. And you can prove that night and day, because every city around us does not allow it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you're in Washington State, right?
Yeah.
What city?
Huh? Everett.
Everett.
Boeing Central.
It's not like you're in a Brownsville section, kind of like Philadelphia or New York, where you have row houses and the kids playing the street.
I live in a residential area at the end of a cul-de-sac, is what I'm trying to tell you, Art, where people have to turn around because there's no other place to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the kids congest that by playing basketball and sports and stuff, the street stops. Period. Mm-hmm. Okay, the cul-de-sac is a no parking tow-away zone. Yeah. So that means there should be no activity in it. Period. Yeah. I couldn't leave a wheelbarrow. I couldn't leave a shovel in the street. So if I can't leave those items just laying out there because the fact that they are a safety issue, I can't leave a portable basketball goal. And the thing about it is they're not going to be able to split hairs and try to say, oh, well, it's a different issue. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's an object that impedes the path of motor vehicles in the street, period. We're talking about children being in the street where we're all by law supposed to walk on the edges of the street facing traffic. Right. If someone is walking in the middle of the street, it is considered jaywalking. Mm-hmm. Or the police officer will stop them and say, are you okay? Mm-hmm. If it is a child wandering in the middle of the street, they will say, where is your irresponsible parent? All of this can be easily shown of neglect.
And don't you have a park nearby where?
Yeah, no more than 2 blocks away that I spend tax dollars on for someone to go mow, to go put up basketball nets, to maintain the picnic tables, to take out the trash. Mm-hmm. But no, I have to deal with all this. And we have to pay taxes on the business to the state and the federal level. Yep. I'm like, what the hell, man? Mm-hmm. And everybody around me rents.
Oh,
all rental property.
I see.
So I feel like going in. I tell you what, we're not going to pay property tax. We're not, because you all have given me taxation without representation. I mean, consider this an act of civil disobedience from your neglect. Yeah. I don't know how that would fly. But the thing about it is I'm trying to explain to them. See, we have people that are 60 plus years of age in my home.
Wow.
And right now we have no clue about this bug. None whatsoever.
Yep.
So I'm trying to explain to her, I don't want children on the property. I don't want basketballs that people have had contact with on the street. I don't want them on the property, because we had one of our clients mistakenly walk out front the other day and pick up a basketball and toss it over into their yard.
Uh-huh.
And the cop, I explained that to the cop, and the cop's like, so? I'm like, wow, you all are so out of touch. You got no clue, do you? You got no clue. Right. She's like, why is that bothering you? I'm like, you don't know any. I said, the virus can live on rubber and plastic surfaces for up to 4 days. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I'm like, well, it sounds to me like somebody needs to get on the ball.
Yeah. Why isn't her boss is telling her about those things. I mean, you would think the police department would have a meeting in the morning, or
this has been going on, Art, for a year and a half with me filing these complaints, and with this particular officer who tried to dress me down today for 5 months. And she's like, well, we've got to get these people in a pattern, and we've got to change their behavior. And I'm like, well, you got signs up to say no parking, tollway zone, and you're trying to change their behavior? And then she tries to tell me this is even funnier. She's like, well, I think you're trying to control your neighbor's behavior. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be trespassing on my property. That's the way it works pretty much by law, isn't it? So if you all want to open that door for litigation, then go right ahead. And she's like, are you threatening me? I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm using common sense. You're telling me that I own the property, but I have no recourse. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is I can show multiple cases where the city is neglecting is trying to shirk their duty, not only from a safety standpoint, but from my personal property boundaries, and basically saying I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a judge somewhere that's going to go, yeah, you're right. You owed punitive damages for this. Mm-hmm. Especially after a year and a half, and I've got emails and photos and videos that I've created a chain of emails, and they were like, you need to stop doing this, because at first it was going to the parking. Well, the parking here, once they go look if the vehicle is moved or something, they delete it. They throw it away. So I started finding people. I started sending stuff to the city council so I could create an email chain showing that I was continually reporting this to not only the police, but to all these other people, other people, and that they weren't doing anything. They were coming up with excuse after excuse to not properly address it. I'm not going to, people have told me to try to do, I'm not like that. All I want them to do is stay off the property, because, I mean, they use the house for a backstop for their balls. They use our vehicles for a backstop for their balls. Like, they'll bounce off the front of our cars. And the cops will be like, oh, well, they're never going to prosecute. And I'm like, excuse me? That's what you just told me?
Unfortunately, like we all keep saying, common sense is not common sense. Parenting these days is so absent. That's the problem, because the parents are letting the kids do this stuff. If they would just be courteous parents, you wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
For that matter, I would happily let them put the basketball goal in front of any of those kids' house, just not mine.
Right.
That's what doesn't make any sense, man. The right here where I live, there's no kids that live in these houses. There's some kids that might visit their grandmother occasionally, but they don't live there. So basically, it's old people next door, old people that live with me. Then there's a vacant house next to me, and then all the kids live down the street, but the basketball goal's here. And I'm like,
they're not even in the cul-de-sac?
No, they don't legally. None of the kids legally live in the cul-de-sac. They all live outside at the other parts of the cul-de-sac and up the road and in different houses all over the neighborhood.
Wow.
But it's like,
You're ashamed that basketball thing disappeared one night, huh?
No, I'm not gonna. I get what you're saying, but I'm not that kind of. The thing that kills me is there's a gorgeous park, two blocks away, with a very nice hoop, a complete concrete basketball court, laid out foul line, everything,
right.
Picnic tables, but they won't go over there. And the thing about it is that the parents' excuse is going to be, well, I'd rather them be close to the house, but I don't want them to be in the house. That kind of thing.
That's the way they are.
Yeah.
And I guess it kind of burns me out is how the cops will be talking to me, and they'll be like, well, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just going to start going to the ASPCA, all this stuff, and just start saying, look, man, they're just turning their backs. They're saying basically that the kids can do whatever they want, unattended, completely, and our clients just basically have to deal with it. And, the kids are starting to badger, like I can go to the mailbox and be like, well, if I say hello to you, you're going to call the cops. And I'm just walking to the house. And then my clients will come in and be like, the kids are yelling at me, saying stuff like, oh, if I say come up and touch you, you're going to call the cops. Or if I say hi to you, you're going to call the cops. And so I'm explaining this to the officer. I'm like, they don't understand that that's wrong. They're not always going to tell me that, and you're allowing it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, you can file a report. And I'm like, you're not listening to me. They don't understand it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to come to me and tell me, because they've had it go on off and on their entire life from different people. Some people, the behavior's been accepted from because of the way family members are. They'll say, oh, that's your uncle, you know him. So they see it as acceptable behavior. So they're not always going to come in and tell us that someone was mean to them, because they don't know that they should. Cop just blew it off.
Yep.
And then she tried, and then as usual, she tried to say, well, I'm not that kind of a cop. I'm not. I'm like, you're a police officer, period. You got a badge. If I report to you an incident, you need to do something about it. Well, I work in, it's true. I'm here and I work in this department. And I'm like, man, why do you have a badge? You're trying to tell me that you're a categorical police officer, you know? and wait a minute, trespassing is implied. It's not an actual law.
Wow.
I'm just like, this is redundant, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent okay, and the signs were $35 a piece. I got 3 of them, put it on various parts. So I spent $105 on signs that are useless, saying an Everett code that's useless, apparently. So I'm just like, I'm pretty sure the judge is going to be like, no. He could say, don't come on my property, period. And he has that right. And I may even send them the bill for my fence.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sending them the bill for the fence, you know?
Right.
Well, you all said this is the only thing I could do, man. So you all need to pay for it.
Man.
It's just and like I said, if it hadn't gone on for so long, and the thing about it is nobody tells me, you know, a statute to support it.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody has an actual reply to address the safety issue. Because I told her point blank, I said, look, if there's a kid in the street and he darts out in front of my car and I accidentally hit him, or the paratransit bus accidentally hits him, I have been telling you all about this for 1.5 years. So whomever's driving is going to have to be scarred for the incident that happened. And then God knows what happened to the child. I said, but the city of Everett is going to be who's on tap for this. You know, it's not going to be the individual who, you know, you can say this, that, or the other, because they shouldn't allow it to happen. The kids should be playing in their yards, or they should be playing in the parks where there is no possibility of this. And but again, the thing that was so funny was because the conversation kind of went awry, and she's like, I'm talking. And I'm like, whatever, you know. And I realized that she was just a deterrent. She's trying to throw me off, because the last thing I said in the previous email before she phone called me was that I am very disappointed with the handling by the city of Everett of this situation, which is another definition for the word neglect. So I'm sure somebody read that email and was like, well, he's basically saying the city of Everett is in neglect.
Yeah. Now, how are the kids' attitude? Are they like little out of control animals, or are they just
they're out of control animals.
Yeah.
Disrespectful, say, go back in your house, shut your mouth. I can do what I want. You know, all that.
Imagine the adults they're going to make.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, the thing about it, the scary thing about it is we know that children tend to emulate their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. And the whole point is I mean, I could be totally out there, and it could be, Mike, I don't think about it is I don't want to do that either. I don't, like you said, I don't want to call child services. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I just wish the kids would stay away from the property. That's it.
Right.
I mean, that's what's and the thing about it is if the police would just go say, hey, move the basketball goal onto your property, play on your property, stay off of theirs. Yeah. That's it. And instead of all this going on for 1.5 years, and that's what I'm going to look at the judge and say, why? Because officers have come out here, safety personnel have come out here and had to move the basketball goal out of the street in order to put the vehicle here in order to attend to people. They've done it more than once. So it's a hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the whole point is it shouldn't been allowed to go on this long. And the judge is going to look at it. I can't see him looking at me and going, well, you're completely out of line. You're completely reckless and you're a loose cannon and you're wrong. You know, I just don't see that happening. I see the judge going, yeah, the city of Everett severely dropped the ball. You know, I don't see him looking at it any other way.
Yep.
Yeah. It's nuts, man. It's I don't know, man. I grew up in a neighborhood too where, you know, I was in the city of Syracuse, and, you know, a little packed close together. Luckily, we had a park pretty much right across the street, so, you know, we played in each other's yard, but we went over in the park, you know, where we had dirt spots to use for a baseball, you know, diamond or whatever, or there were actual baseball diamonds there to use if you wanted to. So, you know, I don't know what's the matter with these kids. I'd rather be in the park than the street. You know, I don't get it. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Unfortunately, parenting is horrific today. And
I'm sorry. John Coopy sent me something very funny, and I'm glad he sent it to me because I was in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
John Coopy, he sent it was like kind of one of those TikTok things. It was really funny.
Oh,
A guy got a thing of hand sanitizer, and it says, maybe you touched your genitals. It says safety first. I thought that was kind of cute. Anyway,
we got Chris Hope and Mr. Crowley and his drone.
Cool.
Chat.
All the best people.
Hello. So what have you been talking about drones at all, or have we just
we talked a little bit about the Mavic Air and Mike's got the Mavic 2 Pro.
Yeah,
I have too. I've got that also.
Okay.
I love that thing. You know, it flies like a champ, and you know, I understand that, you know, the Phantom is better. I get it, you know, but for my purposes with my disability and all that, the portability of it and even the controller, holding the controller is, you know, the Phantom controllers are huge.
Yeah.
Mavic controllers. So, but I got the smart controller, which is the best of both worlds, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, now I have ultimate envy because I want a smart controller so bad, but I just, when they wouldn't let us use our accessory coupons and then they jacked the price up, I was just like, man, I just can't see me. I could spend $700 on a drone, and the controllers I got work okay. I mean, I'd really, really, really like to have one, but probably my wife would neuter me if I was to. She'd be like, "What's that for?" And I'd say it's a controller. She'd go, $800 and it doesn't even fly. And I'd be like, "Oh, no, it doesn't."
Okay, we got Art and Bill. Could I get a signed prop from each of you? Sure, I could do that. I have some extra props that I could.
Actually, I think I got some pink props, man. That I could I will do that, sir.
Yeah, I guess Crowley's gonna make his background with like a prop wall of autographed props from, you know, all of us and stuff. So I sent him a pair. I was gonna change them for the season anyway, and a couple of them were cracked. So I sent him 4 props that are all signed. You know, it took a while to get a decent signature on the blade. You know, and I got used a white Sharpie.
Yeah, that's what I need, a white or silver Sharpie.
Yeah, silver will work too.
And
so, yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. As a matter of fact, I was changing props on my Bugs 3 a little while ago, so I'll take one of those and sign it and get it out to you.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool idea, you know. And got to get them from the big boys too, you know, Ken Herron and you know, all the big shots.
Yeah, Billy Kyle and Ed Ricker and Ken Dono.
Yeah.
Who was that? Somebody was calling him Ken Adobo.
Adobo.
Yeah.
Did you watch him last night?
Show last night. Calling
He
him
had a couple of beers in him last night.
Yeah, he was pretty lit last night.
But he admitted it. He was up front. I'm like, I'm a little loaded right now, and but I guess it was his anniversary, and he can't go out to dinner. So,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But I like him. He's a pretty cool guy. Straight shooter for sure.
Yeah, I met.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I got an email from the city.
Oh,
jeez.
Oh no. It's actually it's basically apologizing that yes. No. It's apologizing that yes, this is an issue that needs to be addressed. Yes, it is an issue that the city needs to look into. We apologize for it taking this long. The public safety is our greatest interest. Yada 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 yada. Please understand that during this crisis, we are unable to look into these events as are needed at this time.
right.
Please bear with us as we. Well, anyway, basically, it looks like they're saying, please wait until we get through with this and then readdress the issue after all this is over with. Is kind of what they're saying.
That you can understand.
Yeah, I can get that, but it's finally decent that somebody's saying no. We don't want you to think that that's wrong. They shouldn't be coming on your property. So it's probably going to be another 3 or 4 months, but they'll pass an ordinance finally to make sure that this is over with.
Yeah.
Anyway, where I was getting to.
Sorry, Art.
I met Ken Dono down at Spin Up last year. So yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, and Ed Ricker. Let's see. And Sean Oz was there, so it was nice to see someone from Colorado down there. So I'm wondering if they're still going to have Spin Up here in Colorado this year, because they're talking about this bug could be going on for another month or two, and can kind of really screw up air travel for a while. I don't know.
I guess we're all just on a wait and see footing right now,
Yep.
Well, what kills me is how they have no idea about it. Like I heard yesterday, what's his name, the little doctor that we see on TV all the time. Right. He's saying that it can stay in the air for up to 4 hours now.
Oh wow!
Like if somebody coughs, that it can affect anywhere from like a 75-foot radius for up to 4 hours. Wow. And at the kids, the younger people, where they're thinking they've gotten mistakenly thinking they're immune, they're continually exposing themselves, and then it's hitting them 10 times harder.
Wow.
Lawrence was telling us last night on the show, we had those guys on, and he was explaining to us that a 5-year-old in New York had passed away in the boroughs from coronavirus.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this thing seems to be so contagious. I think there's a good chance that the majority of people are going to get it.
Yeah, at least half.
As opposed to control, like quelching it.
Yeah.
It's just going to run through its course. And
something like Utah or something said that the 80-plus-year-olds, they had just basically said, we don't have the resources. We're sorry.
Oh, boy.
I know in Italy they did that. Which is, scary stuff. I mean, it's just thankfully, it looks like the majority of people can get it. Some people don't even know they have it. But it's that unknown stuff right now is pretty scary.
Well, that's what scares me so much about parents just not giving a shit about their kids and thinking, oh yeah, we can just go on like everything's normal. And I'm like, man, I've been avoiding people in stores. Yeah. I mean, but I still have to take clients to like hospitals and stuff for appointments. I went to one just yesterday, and there was a lady sitting over she wasn't facing towards me. She was facing away from me, but she was coughing, and you could hear the gurgling in her chest, and she wouldn't wear a mask.
Mm.
And and there's like everybody's like staring at the people at the receptionist desk, looking over here and looking over here, and there's signs everywhere saying must wear a mask, must wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing that was even stranger was she never went back for an appointment, and then suddenly she just got up and left.
Mm.
Mm.
Didn't go see a doctor, didn't go see anybody, just left.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
It's
and then every time I do one of these, I'll go, I'll be like, oh God, it hurt. You know, and I'm like, no, stop. But I don't. I'm afraid that's the whole thing is you don't know and you're scared to death. You're thinking, okay, I've been out. Did I touch the wrong thing? Did I, accidentally touch the wrong shopping cart? Did I miss a spot? And this is freaky, man.
You'll be pushing your cart like this.
Well, the thing about it is you're still exposing your elbows.
Right.
If you use the cloth on your clothes, your
elbow can't touch your face.
Right, but okay, your elbow can touch other parts of your body, and then you touch your pants leg where your elbow hit, or you touch your shirt where your elbow hit. It's ridiculous, man.
I know.
And plus, Bill, you're in a position where, God forbid you were to get it. You're responsible for taking care of people at your house there, like what happens then? You know what I mean? Are you allowed to even take care of them or, there's a lot of unknown things like that.
What would happen in a situation like that? If God forbid any of our clients or us was to get it, it's an automatic quarantine for the house.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's just a wait and see, and everybody tries to tend to each other until somebody gets to the point where they have to be transported.
Right.
And then they come and get you. That's it. There's just nothing, And what scares me, especially about this, and obviously the people here in this city are totally uneducated, was I couldn't get that officer to understand about why I don't need to be anywhere near another person that I don't know where they've been or who they've had contact with or who they've, what they've touched, especially right now, because you can look at any doctor on the planet and they'll say, well, what can I do to protect myself? He'll say, stay home and lock the damn door.
Yep.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what I've been doing. I've only been to the store a couple of times in the last week. Yesterday, I went out, flew my drone, wasn't near any people. So I've been, the only other person I've been with is my sister, just to visit her and say hi, see how you're doing, because she had hernia surgery about a month ago. And but you brought up an interesting point about quarantine that reminded me of the stories my dad would tell, because he grew up during the Depression and the 20s, where, if someone got chicken pox, the measles, the mumps, that house was quarantined on his street. They would put up a sign that said quarantine. And those people weren't. They couldn't leave the house. Yeah. So, and that was back in the day when scarlet fever was still a thing, and smallpox, and polio.
One of my cousins before I was even born died from polio. So I never got to know her.
My high school friends. His dad had polio, so he's got 1 foot shorter than the other. So he's got that special shoe with the 3-inch lift on it. Yeah.
Oh, from having polio?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that they call it? Post-polio, for people who have had polio in their life and recovered or something like that?
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Right.
I mean, Franklin Delano Roosevelt had polio.
FDR,
yeah. It paralyzed him from.
Okay, back on a drone. So, sorry, it seems like we're going down this really morbid path.
We're all experts.
What on this last night when Kim was talking the Autel thing about how Autel came out and said there's no retailers that have any stuff coming. So if you're pre-ordering on a whim, basically. I thought that was pretty heavy duty, And I kind of figured that was why Ken went on, was kind of do some saving face, because he gets supported by, what is it, DroneWorks, And didn't DroneWorks take some pre-orders and stuff? And then Altel comes out yesterday and basically says, well, I wouldn't be giving you money to DroneWorks because they don't know when we're going to send it to them because we don't know when we're going to send them out. So, so I don't know if he did that to save a little face or something or what. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I've never bought from a dealer like that. Like we don't have one around here. We just have either. I bought from Apple stores because they sell DJI, or B&H Photo, which is a big, huge camera, everything store in New York City, and they have a DJI customer service person there in New York, who it's much easier than dealing with DJI.
Right.
Say it shows up and it's bad in the box, you don't have to go through all this hassles of dealing with California or Chinese public service. Like someone in New York handles it, so it's nice. And when you get one that's in good shape, they usually, if it works out of the box, it's going to work unless you crash.
Yeah.
And we all crashed.
Well, we do have a DJI store here in the Denver metro area that's down at Park Meadows Mall, down in the south part of the city. But Best Buy and I believe Walmart sells DJI products. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that Altel drone, that's be interesting to see, whenever it does come out, whatever the problem is. I mean, we all got drones. We can wait. It's definitely not, the end of the world there, but but that looks like a pretty nice drone. The 1-inch sensor one really looks like something to be pretty nice.
But the little ball on the camera reminds me of like a unique.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of funny though. But so your last drone was the Mavic Air, right, Art?
Yes.
Okay. So when's the last? You said you flew yesterday?
Yes,
did you
I did.
Air and you flew the Air?
Yes, I did.
Oh, so
I posted photos on Facebook.
Yes, the photos, but it was just photos, or did you get a
video? Just photos because I just realized, I haven't charged these batteries for 2 or 3 days, and it was 50% powered by the time I got it up, and by the time I took the third photo, I was hearing that beep 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 beep, that low battery warning. And I thought, you know what, let's just call it good and go home.
What props are you using? The original ones, Art?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And they're still in really good shape. Yeah.
I know people get irritated by the noise, but
Yeah, I know. I'm hard of hearing, so that's probably a good thing for me because then I can hear where that prop. If I can hear it, then I know it's close by, and then I feel safe. So I just hit return to home, and then looked at the map, and I see the numbers getting smaller, and I look straight up. Oh, there it is, right above me. And it hovers there for a minute, and then it starts to descend, and then it turns off the downward sensors. So I was able to move it away from me because there were some trees nearby, and didn't want to.
And you have a Phantom 4 Pro, right, Bill?
Yeah, my wife will tell you straight up, I've got too many drones. I've got I got a Phantom 4 Pro. I have a Mavic 2 Pro. I have a Mavic Air. I have a Rise Tello. I actually have 2 of those. One's the Iron Man model, and I actually have a Mavic Mini.
So you got the whole arsenal.
Yeah,
well, close. I don't have quite like Billy's got pretty much everything DJI.
Yeah, you don't have the Inspire and
I don't have
the Matrice.
I'd love to have a Matrice, man.
Well,
that would be a blast.
This is I'm giving this away when I hit 1,500.
Oh, very cool. Very
cool.
cool.
And this is unopened. I got this off of the police auction website. Got a
Off of
pretty good
a
deal on.
police auction website.
Yeah,
Okay. I've heard it all now.
yeah. It's called propertyroom.com.
It was El Chapo's drone.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, I guess what it is somebody probably stole this from the store, and instead of taking it back, the police say, "Hey, we got your property." They already got the insurance on it. They say,
Right.
So what they do is they auction off, and I've seen some Phantom 4 Pros new in the box, unopened, on auction on that site, going for some pretty good dough, and some Mavic Pro 2s new in the box, and they've been going for under 1,000.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. So, and right now they've got a Phantom 3. It's either an advanced or a pro, but it's missing the camera. So if I get that real cheap, I could finally replace my lost drone, because I got this great big plastic case without a drone, but I got a controller for it.
Now, whatever happened that Jeff Sills was building you a Favic?
Well, he's not building it for me. I donated him the
okay.
kit. Yeah. So he's
did
going
that ever get done?
No, he hasn't even started on it yet. Now he's out of work. He's busy trying to get a new job. Yeah.
Something because he was talking about that he doesn't have any certifications.
That's right.
He could go ahead. You can, but see, the thing about it is, can't you get certified for? You can get some certificates online. He could go ahead and apply with Microsoft, and of course you got to pay for them. But I mean, we could probably set up some kind of GoFundMe or something enough to get 1 or 2 certificates for him, so that he could at least have something else to put on his. I don't know for sure. I'm just asking if anybody that might know.
That's a good idea.
But he could go. I was thinking that he could possibly go and actually get certifications through Microsoft online. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know for sure. I thought so.
I don't know if you'd have to take the course, or maybe you could just take the exam.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, I think. But you have to pay to take the exam. Yeah. So, it may be, depending upon the certification, it could be cheap or it could be expensive. I don't know for sure. But I was thinking that possibly, because he was mentioning that, he has all this IT experience. And as we all know, there's boatloads of IT information on the internet. So it's very easily that someone could come very tech savvy without even going to college, which is Jeff. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, okay, maybe he could get a couple of certifications from Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Through from networking here and there and everywhere, and then at least have something else to throw on his resume to kind of beef it up and go, hey, I went ahead and got some of these, and I can show you that I got the skills.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll start up a GoFundMe for Jeff. I know Ken Herron started a GoFundMe to kind of, get him through the rough spots. But
that's what I'm saying. I guess we would have to get with Jeff and see if what he thought about that idea, or it could be that I'm completely wrong and you may not be able to get certifications online. I don't know. Right. I was just thinking that I would think that it would be easier to get certifications more rapidly than it would be to get a degree. Yeah. So, that's why I was thinking, you can get the smaller stuff in there first and then maybe get in a little bigger stuff later on or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. I'll definitely get in touch with Jeff and ask him about that. And
it's like, don't you remember when me and you were talking last year, Art? And you were like, well, I really want to go to Spin Up. And I told you, I was like, just start a GoFundMe and be honest. And you went to Spin Up. Yep. I mean, the whole point is that's what kills me about some people that will try to take advantage of it. That's like I told you, if you just tell people, hey, I ain't got the money, but I'd love to go. If you're willing to help me, I'll go. And you went. That's what and I was like, that's great. So I don't. It's just like the airfare last year was going to kill me. The trip itself wasn't going to faze me at all, but like $600 round trip, I was just like, man, you know, I was like,
it's a lot of money.
So I was just like, I guess I'll pass.
If they do decide to have it here in Colorado, you know, it won't be that expensive for you to come down.
So
maybe
he's really thinking about moving it.
Yeah, because you know Kelly was just here about a month ago visiting Sean with Ed Ricker.
Yeah, I remember that because Steve Carpenter gave up his Skydio so that Sean could take it on the ski trip.
Yeah, Steve's in the house. I see Steve's in the chat. And
Okay.
also,
did you know that, Art?
Claude.
He had Steve Carpenter was in line in the first batch of Skydio people.
Right.
Okay, and Sean was going on that trip with Ed, and they all were, you know, they had Skydio. Kelly had a Skydio, I think, and so, or maybe he wanted to be the only one that had a Skydio. I don't know, but Steve Carpenter gave his place in line to Sean Oz so that he could purchase a Skydio and take it on that ski trip.
Okay, I got you.
So I gave Kelly 2 tickets for Spin Up last year for a giveaway. What Rick is saying, I gave Kelly 2 tickets for Spin Up. Oh, so you purchased 2 entries to Spin Up, and Kelly gave. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. And Claude's in the chat. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lots of cool stuff. And I saw Ken Herron is going to do a 24-hour stream next week.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing about was, okay, I don't know if any of y'all remember this. I talked about it on the show about a year ago. And I remember when everybody had all the GoFundMes, and I suggested that we do a 24-hour stream and we try to go it around the world, and we were going to highlight a different GoFundMe and try to get money for them, you know. And then he's like, "Oh, this is a big brand new idea," and I'm like, "I'm going to stop sending you emails, son." Well, see, the thing about was I sent him the stuff about Zen Lee the other week. You know, well, it's probably been about 3 weeks ago, right when Zen got busted and they took away a Skydio. I was like, I don't know if you saw this, but he might be a good guest for the show. And I said, now really, because Ken's been on drone therapy before. I mean, of course, this was long ago before Ken broke 100 grand, you know. But I was just like, you know, it'd be cool. I know you plan on Wednesday night, but it'd be cool if you drop by for a little bit and, you know, and just said, hey, because it's been a while. And he was like, well, thanks for looking out for the show. Bye. Okay, I get it.
Well, Rick said, am I taking Monday? No, I am going back to work, but Ken is starting this what the hell-a-thon at noon.
It's a what is it? Kenronavirus.
Kenronavirus. Yeah.
Kenronavirus.
Yeah. And so
what the hell?
I emailed Ken that I was available 3:30 to 9 o'clock.
Are they really taking you back to work Monday?
Well, when I'll be back to work. My vacation will be over.
Okay, but I understand that, but don't you work in close quarters with other people? Everybody's at least.
I'm in a factory.
Right. So there's people that are like within 6 feet of you.
I haven't seen anything from the big boss saying RMO is shut down right now. So and nobody, I don't see any of my coworkers saying, well, we got the week off. They're working overtime this week.
Wow.
So
wow, man.
Right.
And we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out why the virus is spreading. Duh. Jeez. I guess, okay, I shouldn't have done this. I know I did it. It was the wrong thing. I went back here. But it's the thing about it is where it incubates so long, and people that can walk around thinking they're perfectly fine are just passing it off to everybody.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else? Do we have any other new lurking drone announcements?
Oh, well, Mr. Crowley says you can send me the $100 bills. Yeah, I'll take them and I'll sanitize them for you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll sanitize them. I'll sanitize them and send them back so clean they'll look like white paper.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, speaking of Chinese stuff,
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out and pick up some Chinese food.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay,
that sounds
nice.
good, man.
Yeah, so
Just tell them that no MSG or Corona.
right.
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
No,
these
they
are
say
people I
Kelowna.
go to all the time, and they
Bill.
run a really clean place, and I love their food. Plus, I want to help their business because they can't do dine-in right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they bring it right out to the car for me. They're really nice.
Awesome.
So
That's
but,
our favorite place that for Chinese, they deliver, so I love it too.
yeah.
And every time we call, they're like, "Oh, thank you," you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
you
You
guys.
have a good day and stay safe.
All right.
Take care,
Thanks
Mike.
for having me on, Art. And Bill, nice to actually talk to you face to face. And
I want to get you on my show sometime too, Mike.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. I will let you know.
We'll line it up. You know.
All right.
We're all home.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. I'll see you guys. Bye, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Steve and Crowley, have a good one.
What was this? I ordered it and it was closed. Wait a minute. We need to get together and talk someday soon, Mr. Carpenter. I ordered it. It was okay. So y'all are just talking around us in the chat. Well, why don't you drag Steve or Rick in here with us?
Yeah, I sent a link to Steve if he wants to.
Steve, are you at work? Or are you not available?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Rick?
Well, here's what I'll do is I'll
How many we got watching us? Like 4 or 5? 6. We got 6 watching. You're hardcore people. Oh, who else left? Rick was telling Mike goodbye. What about TP, Mr. Crowley? What, Sean? I missed that. No, that's okay. Oh, okay. He doesn't want the. Okay, I get you. He doesn't want he doesn't want the $100 bills that look like white paper unless it's toilet paper.
Well, Steve Carpenter, I sent you a link.
Well, Rick said he's laying in bed, so he's not gonna get on cam because he's afraid we might get hot and bothered.
So, Bill, are there any Filipino restaurants in your area?
Yeah, but they're not real good.
Oh, okay.
There's one probably about 15 miles away that they used to have it was an actual restaurant, and then their business kind of went downhill, and then they moved into just a carry-out restaurant, and then now they're only open like 2 days a week. So I don't know how much longer they're going to last. And then the other store, you know how Filipino food is. It's got to be prepped. It's not one of these things that you can whip up in 15 minutes and it's going to be okay. Well, this other store that's actually in the city that I live in, they try to fix it in 15 minutes. So it might be greasy. It might be, it might not be done properly.
Right. Well, I love lumpia, so that you can take that, freeze it, and then they could have it all ready to go. All they have to do is fry it, and when you get there,
right, Art. But the difference is my wife is Filipino, so there's no store-made Filipino lumpia that's going to come close to my wife's. I'll take hers 10 times over any that I get in a restaurant. Or now my son's lumpia is better than my wife's.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and he gloats about it too. He'll tell you he's a better cook.
I get my lumpia from Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
And there's a couple of gals here in the Denver area that advertise, and you'll get like a dozen for $10 or $8. Yeah. And I would go and get that, and and that's enough for me to last for 3 meals or more.
We have a lady here that will give you 25 for 15.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you get to freeze those and just have enough for yourself.
She'll even furnish the little Tupperware container. They're already layered out and frozen when she gives them to you.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry. You don't like some places when I go, I've gotten it before. They'll wrap it in like wax paper,
right,
and then put it in a paper towel, and then just give it, or not in a paper towel, but in a paper bag, and give it to you to take home. But she actually gives you a Tupperware container that you can stick it straight in your freezer, and then you can open it, take out a few, put it back. So she does all that for $15.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So she's really cool about that.
Mm-hmm.
We got tons of Mexican restaurants, lots of Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, same here.
I want to go try Korean.
We got Korean here.
I like Korean barbecue. That's a good place. What am I wanting to say?
And we do have some.
What's the one where they carve it off the what is it?
Oh, kebabs.
No, the big side of beef. Yeah, well, it's kind of like kebabs, but it's the whole big layer of meat, and they'll come to your table, and it's like this big around, and they'll slice off chunks of it. What's it?
Yeah.
I can see it's Brazilian something.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Somebody help me! What is that? Is anybody still here? Did everybody leave? Please don't leave. Stay. Oh, we're down to 5. I forgot to hit the like button.
Oh,
9 likes. 9. 9 likes.
Yesterday we were up to 18. So.
Kelly Shores is going to unbox the Skydio?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like live?
Yep.
Right now?
You know what? I don't see his live. But wait a minute.
I'm going to search for him too. You can go ahead.
Okay, just got it. That was 3 minutes ago.
Oh, he did?
Hold on.
Yeah, he is live. He's unboxing it live.
Okay,
we don't have to get off. We can watch and talk about him.
It starts in 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool if you could do a share screen.
Oh, you know what?
Go up to hit share. You're gonna do a Chrome tab and then share Kelly. He won't care. He won't mind at all. And we can talk about it while he's unboxing it. I have to make you. I have to make you a couple of stingers like I got on mine, because since you use StreamYard, you can load those into yours too and use them also.
Okay. There we go. Now we're.
Oh, I see. Now we can see who everybody bailed out on us. Oh, Rick Halber, we could see you over there. It's kind of neat. He's multitasking. He's got the tablet over here and the computer over here. So he's
okay.
I guess I could do that. I should do that like in another screen, shouldn't I? So Mike went and got him some Chinese food.
Oh, there's Matt. Oh, I gotta do the audio. Dang.
You it's up to you. You don't have to share it.
Okay. Huh.
We can listen to it and we can talk about it, or you can share the audio. Oh, okay. He's on now.
Yep.
Kelly.
I don't think my audio is coming through though.
Oh, no, we're not hearing Kelly. I can hear you, but I'm not hearing Kelly. Watch this. I'm going to mess with him.
Share audio.
Are you going to try it again?
Yep.
Cool.
We have been waiting for a while, and some have actually received.
There you go.
My Skydio.
Ken Heron just gave him
super excited.
$5.
I was going to just go home and open it here at the office today, but I thought, why not just live stream it and see what happens and kind of share what's in it. I have had a chance to play with the Skydio 2 a little bit with Sean and Rick. Sean and
Did you see that what I posted?
Skydio, but Sean and Ed up in Colorado. But not
Bart and I are watching and talking about you while you unbox live, Kelly.
On time, so it was really just a chance for me to try it out for the first time. I have to say, I was really impressed with the obstacle avoidance. I thought Sean was really trying to, hey, and a $5 super chat from Mr. Heron. Ken, by the way, for everyone who doesn't know, doesn't cover cardboard collisions. For everyone who doesn't know, Ken's doing a 24-hour live stream on Monday the 23rd. That's this coming Monday. I plan to be on it for 23 of the 24 seconds. No, for an hour. I'm going to be on for at least an hour. I do think that Ken, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put a wager out there with folks. I'll bet Ken falls asleep at some point during the thing. So if you guys want to make some bets, some little side bets there as to whether Ken falls asleep, I'll bet the $5 he just super chatted me. Thank you, by the way, Ken. Much appreciated.
No, I think he needs to give away the Inspire 2. Type that in there, somebody. So tell him that Ken falls asleep. He needs to give away the Inspire 2.
We actually had at this very desk this morning a fairly famous actor from he was in what was the name? Fear of the Walking Dead. He spoke via our studio. He live streamed back to Sky TV in London, which was really cool. So I figured everything was already set up. We'd go ahead and do it. I even have the teleprompter set up so I can see all the great comments. I want to say hey to Steve Carpenter. I saw Shane in there. I saw Mel. I saw Rick in there. Of course, Ken Heron. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. But I will not chit chat for too much longer. I will try to get down to business. Hey, what's up, Art? I will try to get down to business here and reach down for the prize. Ugh. And it's actually surprisingly heavy. And I have wait a minute, hand sanitizer. I think I got the wrong box. Kidding. You know how I know? It's got the big lipo thing on the side.
There you go, Art. There you go.
It's something deadly in this box. So I ordered this. I was in batch 2 for everyone who's paying attention. And I got the notification about a week ago. I guess it was late last week when the notification came that this was ready. I had just enough money left in my drone account to pay the difference, and it arrived, and now we're going to open it up. So let me see if I can get to it here. Going to go ahead and here you want. And by the way, I don't think I haven't seen Chris Hope in there. Chris, I forgot to bring your knife to open this. It is my drone opening knife, but I'm going to use this pair of scissors here. So
I gave Billy.
By the way, guys, if you have questions about this thing as I open it, I'm really doing this because I think a lot of people are interested in it, and I just wanted to share the experience of opening it. So if you have questions about it as I go, let me know. I have had very little experience with it, but I am just excited to get my hands on it and try it. So it's got some sealed air. That's really important. And we have spare propellers. Let me just pull them out of the plastic so we get rid of the shine. I did order one set of spare props. I think it comes with a spare set as well, but I ordered a spare set. And I will say, this is a nice box that these spare props are in. These are actually pretty.
All the stuff, all the boxes.
I'll set that aside. I'll get everything out of the box so I can sit back down.
The battery box is nice.
And
it's all super
nice. We have the spare battery. I ordered a spare battery. Right
yes, I have a spare battery thanks to none other than Rick Halberd.
I ordered 2 spare batteries.
Thank you again, Rick.
Steve said I can't
ordered the charging station.
Huh?
This is the dual charger.
How would you get a strike unless Kelly reported you?
2 batteries. So I think I have a total of 3 batteries. I'm hoping I can charge 1 in the drone itself.
You can cut it off if you want to, Art. That's fine.
Outside.
All right.
And then right here is the remote control, which if everyone's seen.
Yeah, that's fine. But the only way you would get a copyright strike would be if Kelly was to turn you in.
Right.
So, but yeah, if that's fine. We can still watch and talk about him and say, oh, Kelly's doing this now. Kelly's doing that now. Kelly's doing the other now. He's reaching into the box. He's pulled out what appears to be the drone box. That's the drone box. That's it looks, and the thing about it is it's really thin. Because when I stack up my other drones next to it, you don't think that it would actually hold a drone. Oh, now he's back to the propellers. Oh, and he peeled the tape off and stuck it back on. Did you see Ken popped in and said that he was listening while he was prepping for Thursday Night Live? And I think that if I'm lucky if I get the guys to come in half an hour before the show for us to try to randomly get stuff together 30 minutes before we start. And Ken plans for hours. I thought he prepped on Wednesdays. Now he's doing it 2 days worth now. Wow. Of course, now he's got 300 people watching at a time. So
yeah,
I'm sure he does some rehearsal stuff.
Yeah.
The props are super nice. I don't see any reason that I would need extras right now. I think I'm going to go try to fly the Phantom today.
There you go.
Well, I flew it like for the first time in over a year, about 3 or 4 days ago, and I mistakenly my right finger hit the wheel, and it hit it a couple of times, and then I didn't realize it, and I was playing around with it, and I turned the ISO all the way up to 3200 on a bright sunny day, and it blew out the picture all to pieces. So the pictures didn't come out good. They're real strange.
Your Phantom?
Yeah, but it was user error. It was my mistake.
Oh, you don't have a thing to put filters on it?
No. What I'm trying to say is I hit, there's like on the Phantom controller, on the right hand side there's a cogwheel, just like on the left hand side for the gimbal. Okay, but you hit that cogwheel and you can cycle through like aperture, ISO. And what happened was I wasn't thinking about what drone I was using and what I was playing with, and so I click without realizing what I'd done, and then I was playing with the gimbal wheel and making sure it still worked, because like I said, it had been a year, and I inadvertently was moving the right wheel back and forth and didn't realize it till at the end of the flight when I looked down right before I was landing, and I saw the ISO setting at 32, and I was like, oh
boy.
So all my pictures and stuff were extremely grainy. So and now I'm having trouble with Luminar. None of the stuff that I'm running from Skylum will run on any of my Windows products. They won't open. They won't initiate or anything. So I sent them an email. So I have to revert to using.
Somebody needs to give Kelly a pocket knife to open up boxes.
No. He was saying earlier that he was sorry that he didn't have the knife that Chris Hope had given him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
For unboxes. So
right.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you right now, Kelly, you're going to be disappointed in the controller. So if anybody's dual watching like us, they need to extend the range on the controller, and then they need to, of course, they're trying to narrow the bandwidth right now to try to make it more better reception. You don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. Yeah, that's true. Steve, where are you at? Why can't you get on cam? Huh? Steve. You can make a banner art. Did you know that? You can make a banner and make it scroll across the bottom. You can say, Steve, join the stream. Scroll across.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're gonna, let me think. Hang on. Let me do this with mine, and I will let you know. Okay. Okay. Looking on. Let me get in here first in mine. Wow, it's actually letting me run my webcam. It would let me run it in 2 streams. That's kind of crazy. Okay, over on the right-hand side of your screen, Art, you see where it says comments, banners, brand, and private chat.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Banners.
Okay, go to banners. And then down at the bottom, you'll see a plus sign. It'll say create banner. Click on it, type something in. There should be a little box underneath that once you get done typing, it'll say click to make.
There's Steve. He's here.
Okay, but look, and it says, but you can also see where it says scroll to make, click to scroll across the bottom, make it a ticker.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then you hit add banner and then activate it. So you can do that with your guests, and you can click it and start it. You can say ask questions, stuff like that. And then later on, I'll get you to the there you go. See?
There you go. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Art. Bill, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. And then if you go to the brand tab, you can change your color tabs. You can change the minimal to the defaults. You can you got your overlays and all that stuff there.
Oh, cool.
So you can actually you can actually run. You know how I run videos on my show,
right?
So that's where your videos would be, about 30 seconds long, and then that's where I would run those while.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for
Well, I'll make you something for that later on.
Okay, cool. That would be awesome.
So is your family just totally devastated now with all this stuff going on to have to cancel your trip?
Oh yeah, everybody's pretty pissed. but what's concerning us more than anything is how most of the people here are completely uneducated about what they need to do. Even our local authorities have no clue. None whatsoever.
90% of the, I won't say 90%. I would say at least 75% of the people don't. It's panic instead of common sense.
He got the dual charger too. I'd like to have that, just to have it, but I don't see how it's really going to charge any faster than the drone does itself.
Yeah.
And you got to stick one on top and one on the bottom. That's just weird, you know. It would seem, wouldn't it seem to me that over time, if you had two batteries attached to that you would negate the magnetism after a while? Wouldn't because they're both, you got one on one side with the magnet facing up and one on the other side with the magnet facing down, both trying to adhere to that metal plate in the middle. Aren't their poles at some point in time going to interfere with each other?
You think it would, you should say demagnetize the.
I would think that one is probably turned one way so that they'll stick together. Kind of like when you take two magnets and you have the opposite poles, they'll stick together.
Right, but that's the whole point is you're going to attach to that metal plate, right?
Okay.
Because it's magnetism that holds the battery in. It doesn't clamp in.
No.
Okay.
It's held in by magnetism.
Yeah, it's a magnet that goes on and it just snaps in.
Kind of like how I hold this show together.
Yeah, but the problem
with my magnetism.
There you go. your animal magnetism.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's going to be a third party that's going to come out with a charger that'll charge, multiple batteries at the same time. But until then, that's your only way to be able to charge, multiple battery, get your batteries charged, is that unit, unfortunately.
Oh, that's that, Tomas. Has any of you all ever watched any of? He's in Coast to Coast Drones, and I don't want to say his name wrong, so I'm going to look to make sure I don't. Danny Tomas. He's the Latino dude that posts in Coast to Coast Drones all the time.
The name, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And he posts some incredible cinematic stuff and everything. Well, I didn't know, but in the Latino community, he's like huge as far as being a producer and stuff.
Really?
I mean, like multiple awards, like the Latino Academy Awards. He's gotten won before, and like a lot of their big award shows, and so he does stuff for like musicians and stuff, and and he's always talking to me, and and I was like, he's just and then I got to looking, man, and he's like driving around in an Audi with his wife, and it's it's one of the, and I'm like, well, maybe he is somebody. But for some strange reason, he and I seem to have hit it off. I think I'm going to try to get him to come on the show here soon. Because but he's a super, super nice guy, and his work is incredible. Let me see what he did.
He's got it out. He's got the case. It's The Skydio's in.
He's got it out. He pulled it out. Okay, I need the people in the front row to back up just a little, please.
Yeah.
Where's the one he put up, man? Phooey. He put up a new one. I know he did. There's Ron. There's... Oh, the other Ron. I wonder if he's back from his trip to the Bahamas yet. Oh, did you all see that thing I posted earlier? The Shift Red. It's like the technology is from 2016, but you put like a little metal band on your thumb, and then there's a controller that you hold in your hand, and you control it with the band on your thumb like this. And the drone itself has something in it called a virtual gimbal.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So I'm assuming that they mean it's got, image stabilization, but they're calling it a virtual gimbal. So I'm wondering what they're talking about as far as the movement and such would be.
That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
I saw something like that on where was it? Not this last year's CES, but the year before. On one of the playbacks, I saw there was a company that had that unit. It it almost looked like it's a unit that slid over like a glove would go, and the hand was on it, and you would control it, but it was controlling the drone, not just the gimbal.
No, this controls the whole drone. Yeah, this controls the whole drone. But it has they're claiming it has a virtual gimbal. So instead of saying image stabilization, they're saying virtual gimbal. And something tells me that it's not going to be a virtual gimbal. That it's going to be, you know what I mean? They're going to make it sound like, you're going to get a 3-axis flow. But we all know that you're not going to be able to do that with software. Parrot's the only one that's even come close. So I kind of doubt that it's I would rather him say, image stabilization rather than saying, let's see. Oh, I might have to get this. Hang on.
Okay. Yeah, I see Kelly's he's struggling to look at the chat.
Yeah, I'm reading the closed caption.
Okay. Oh, that's... Oh, I did it wrong.
And that way the audio won't go out. Because there's been several people that have gone out and broadcasted the stream like you were doing. I was just afraid I didn't want you to do it. But it shut them down for 3 months. YouTube shut them down because they were rebroadcasting another stream.
I see. Okay, well, thank you.
Who did they shut down? Who?
This girl. She was rebroadcasting a meteor shower from one of the observatories on her thing when it was going live. And YouTube came in and shut them down for 3 months so they couldn't live stream again.
Because it was a copyrighted stream.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
Kelly would not say a damn thing about you showing his stream. He'd probably be happy. Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry.
But the problem now is with so many people out trying to sit there and say, I didn't do anything wrong or I have the approval. Everything is going AI and YouTube. And people are home. So they're not having the people there to override all these things. In fact, they came out with a letter stating, due to the AI, a lot of items may get pulled down. We don't mean it to, but we're relying on the AI doing to what's going around.
I see.
Well, so basically the one format that people can use regularly to stay in touch, they're telling everyone it could be limited severely and you may be stranded alone. How asinine.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That is maybe then there's a problem with your AI and you should fix it.
Yeah. Or wait, even better, can't your people, I don't know, telecommute?
Novel idea.
Yeah, really, man. Would probably save a shitload on office space. Jesus, man. That's just so funny. Sorry. I'm just randomly out there. Okay, do we think the new Mavic is a Mavic Air or just a Mavic?
I think it's just going to be a Mavic.
Me
X.
too.
X.
Yeah. You think? Oh, so they're just going to call it X? Yeah, but
I'm calling it X because that way they can give it any number or whatever else they may want to decide to do with it.
I think it's just going to be Mavic Standard, and it's going to be waterproof.
You think it's going to be waterproof?
Yep. I do. I think all DJI drones from this point on will be waterproof.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Or maybe not necessarily waterproof, but water resistant to an extreme. To an extreme.
You don't land it in a lake.
Right. Yeah. But I'm going to say, it's going to be water resistant up to an extreme. More or less that if you do drop it in the water, that it's going to, if you can get to it within a minute or two, you're good.
Mhm.
Conformal coating, that kind of deal, closing up the, if you look at the engine housings, look at the way the controller is, you don't really see any air holes for breathing except in areas underneath where it would be sheltered more or less. You don't see anything exposed on the top of the drone anywhere. You look at the motors, you don't see any major openings for anything to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no the exhaust ports are all protected underneath to where you wouldn't ordinarily get water.
Right.
So that's why I'm under the assumption, and think of what a selling point that would be.
Yeah.
The only thing that's a fear to me when you start closing up and encapsulating those motors is the heat.
Yeah.
How's the heat going to dissipate?
But then if you're flying in a rainstorm or a snowstorm, you're really not worrying about heat. But yeah, I
don't know, go to Florida.
Well, here's the thing, and I was trying to explain to Lawrence and them last night, and they were trying to, and I've heard this come from so many different channels, and people are saying, well, you've got 50 million drones and you can't fly them all, and I'm like, each drone serves a different purpose. It shoots a different picture. It films at a different aspect rate. They're all different. They all have different benefits. They all have different things that hold them back. Just like a really good photographer, he will use one or two cameras, but he's going to have a boatload for just special situations that he'll need those cameras for. And he will use them pretty regularly if those situations arise. I think the same thing's cool with the drone. And I guess what I hate about so many of these larger channels is, they'll try to steer you one way as opposed to another. I'm all about, hey, if you want to own 50 million drones and your wife won't kick you into the street, go for it. If you want to speculate about what new drone's coming out because you get all giddy inside because of it, go for it, man. And don't be faulting people. Don't be bashing on people because they're trying to guess. Because to be honest with you, every video that we all upload to YouTube, we pray that it becomes clickbait.
Yeah.
So trying to say, oh, that's a clickbait title. It wasn't a clickbait title until somebody made it a clickbait title by entering it first.
Yeah.
And that's what it kills me. All these people are trying to blame this one or blame that one. Okay, and I got one other major pet peeve. Here's the thing. I'm sorry, Art. I'm using your channel to preach. You can slap me later on mine and preach on my channel.
Well, you need a purple column for that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Channels that are about drones should be about drones. If you have a cause that you want to support, you should separate it from your hobby. You don't combine the two and try to use a cause to influx your hobby. If you want to support something, support it independently. My daughter has Down syndrome. You don't see me pull stuff about Down syndrome or try to get people to buy things and support Down syndrome on my drone channel. The only time I do that, I do something separate and I isolate it and explain it's for Down syndrome because I don't want the two combined. I don't want anybody thinking the two are combined because my hobby is just that. It's my hobby and I love people sharing it with me, and I will do anything and everything to tell you my knowledge, and I'll do anything and everything to get as much knowledge from you as I can. Right. But I am not going to combine a cause with my hobby and use it as an excuse for you to come to my channel to do things. That's not right.
Yeah.
I think you should go and I'm tired of hearing people talk about how, you know, they think one live show should be done this way or another live show should be this way and this host should go or that host should go. Here's the thing. Go make your own live show. Find out how many people will actually show up and be your guests.
Mhm.
Find out the difficulty it is to put one of these shows together.
Yeah.
And then come back and jump on your soapbox.
Then talk to me in 6 months.
Yeah, it's just I'm tired. Right now is the last thing that we need is this bickering between people.
Yeah.
Or one guy trying to one up the other. I understand that channels that get into the 20,000, the 30,000, the 40,000, that they have to. They've got to bow to a sponsor and do things in order to keep their YouTube rolling. I get that. But you don't have to step on the people that you're asking to come to your channel to buy things. You don't have to ridicule them. You don't have to treat them bad. Just tell them the straight up truth. Be decent about it. And that's it. You don't need to be hateful. You don't need to be backstabbing. You don't need to be, you know, oh, you should stop talking to this guy. Or I'm not going to. This is what I got. I invited somebody into my Facebook drone group, right?
Coast to coast.
And because I had a member that this particular person didn't get along with, they sent me a message and said, I can't join your group because this person's in it. Well, I'm not that person, you know? That's the whole point. I'm not that person. I don't have my arm up their bottom end controlling how they act.
Mhm.
So why are you penalizing me and the group that I've put my own effort into growing and working on because of one member out of 900?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's very petty and childish, and it doesn't make any sense. I would love to have this guy in my group. I've seen some of his videos. They're beneficial. You know, they have some good information in them. I don't watch all his stuff because some of it kind of goes a little beyond what I would consider okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I do watch some of his stuff. You know, and I do watch other people's stuff for the informational purpose, you know, but that's it. That's the only reason I'm watching it for, because the person themselves is not that entertaining.
Well,
you know,
the easy way to that is just like something happening with me, which and it's easy. Remove yourself from the situation. If they don't like it, they can remove themselves from the situation.
Yeah.
You don't disturb it. You don't go on. There's only one person in life you can control, and that's yourself.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
You have control of what you
is right.
do, and that's exactly what I did. I just unsubscribed from everything that I wanted to do and associate with that person and remove myself out of the picture.
Yeah.
That's
But let me ask you, have you, by chance, since you removed yourself, accidentally run across that person somewhere else?
I have, and I do not acknowledge that person being.
I know. I get you totally, but that's what I'm trying to say. We need to get, especially in the drone community, when we're all. The thing about it is what what's going to happen in about 3 years' time. We're all going to be sitting here on YouTube going, "I wish I didn't fight with my friend, and I could still fly my drone."
No, well, there's a difference when the person stabs you in the back, and then goes out and creates a video and lies, and I have written documentation that proves him lying. So yes, I could go out and go on a whole legal battle and go after him, and he'd be under the table. But I'm not going to do that to him.
Because it's ridiculous. You would figure
so
adults could get past it.
I let him go on, and I can control, and I have control.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And what is it that Lawrence does? The views expressed here are not the views of everyone on the panel. Please understand that.
Yeah.
The views and opinions are only of the person that gave the opinion and have nothing to do with this channel.
Yeah, exactly. He did that like 10 times last night.
I saw that.
That was so funny, man. We had a blast last night.
Yeah.
We always have a good time. Every show we have a good time.
Oh, you do, and you have a good show. I would have been watching last night. Was my aunt's 85th birthday, so we were.
Well, plus the thing about is I'm not gonna lie to you. I turned Dono on, and Dono was lit to the gills, man. And I was laughing while we were streaming. It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
He was lit, man.
I heard that because I went live with my drone because my nephews, my godson's nephews, were there, and they have this huge deck on the second floor where they live real close to me here. So I launched from the deck and we flew up to go view the harbor, and I'm talking with the boys, and somebody came on and says, Dono's stuck in the air out of your channel. And I go, I don't care. There's 10 people here watching, and I'm happy to have all 10 of you here. Thank you. And I go, I'm here enjoying the sunset with my nephews and letting them see what goes on, and they're able to watch what's being broadcast live on YouTube.
Kelly is done.
Yep, he's done. Did you all y'all ever seen where Ken Dono started streaming the first time?
I didn't see his show last night.
No. Have you ever seen where Ken Dono started streaming? Go back through the early episodes of Drone Therapy. You'll see Ken Dono. The very first episode of Drone Therapy has Billy Kyle on it. I was telling Lawrence last night, was talking about, Billy, and I was like, dude, have you watched any of the old episodes? Yeah. He's like, no. And I was like, well, go watch the first one. You'll be surprised who one of the guests is.
Yeah.
Because we were talking before we went live, and he was like talking about Billy and everything. I was like, I've known Billy for a while. And I was like, and we've gotten mad at each other. We've stopped talking to each other, and we've made up, it's just, and he's one, I value his friendship. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk as much as we used to, but it's still cool to know he's there.
Well, we're down to 2 people watch.
No, I see 3.
Oh,
it's me, you, and Steve, man.
Oh, okay.
They'll come back. It was maybe I was ranting too much. It's me. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
Oh, you're up to 4.
Well, we'll call you Grumpy too, because Lloyd tends to do that on my my.
I think people were watching Kelly, and he's done, they're coming back.
That's true. Okay, Jody is back. I see him. Welcome, Jody.
See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody was watching because we couldn't stream it anymore. So that's what happened. So now we can talk about it. What'd y'all think?
Well, I mean, Kelly always does a good job on those unboxing. His shows are always great. He's got a great channel. He's very informative, and his production, the way he produces his videos, is just.
He was on Drone Therapy about a year ago.
Right.
When me and Bill were still hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Bill's kind of put together his own bucket list boys over there on his channel, I've noticed. Well, it was basically my bucket list boys, but I'm not with them. It wasn't like that. It's just our schedules were so much different.
Right.
We had so many different things going on. He was going the version 2.0, and I was just like, man, I got my Phantom 4 Pro. I just don't see. I mean, it's the same exact camera. It's just it doesn't fly quite as long, and it doesn't go quite as far. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it flies,
and it's got the same exact sensor in it, man. I'm like, so I don't need to spend all that extra money to get it. I mean, I'd love to, but I just don't. It's the camera's not an upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm trying to find my Kitty Hawk password so that I can get my pre-approval.
Well, earlier today, I watched the rest of Ken Herron's first episode of TNL, and this is almost 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the Phantom 5. He mentioned that in there, but it was like a 35-minute show, and Dana Williams was his
co-host.
Yeah. And I
see that forgive me, but that and the accident set Ken Heron off. And it helps when your buddy's the member of a really, really popular country band.
Yeah.
that's a good selling point right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and plus Ken was already a radio personality anyway. So,
well, you know, in that first live stream, he was already getting super chats.
I haven't had any super chats yet. I think that's kind of funny that I can actually get one now.
Yeah.
I haven't had any of those.
Well,
I don't think it doesn't make a difference anyway. It's not like they're going to give you any money unless you make a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not when 30% of it goes to YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah. There's the ad.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're best off getting like Patreon or something like that, where it's an ongoing situation, or use PayPal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And hide it down in the comments. Or you do their join once you get big enough.
Yeah.
You can do the join.
Yeah. I think you have to hit, don't you have to hit a certain subscriber plateau to do something like that? Yeah. Kind of like marketing your merch on your own YouTube channel. Yeah. Right. I think if you hit 10,000, then you could you could advertise your Teespring.
Yeah, you have. That's a Teespring category. That's from Teespring, not YouTube.
Oh.
YouTube, if you're supposed to be, if you're using another like supplier, you can put your mark up there.
Okay.
But Teespring won't give you their link unless you have 10,000.
Ah, okay. Because I do have links on just about all my channels to make money, of course. Like I have a tip jar, and
I don't have enough money on my, or enough hours on mine to make money.
Yeah. I've got. Yeah, I don't have enough hours, but I notice my analytics. I do see an upward tick on it, so I'm getting there, slowly but surely.
Oh, I'm about to lose all my watch hours. I know it's going to happen because I did that.
You don't lose them, Bill.
No. You don't understand. Because you have to have 4,000 in a 12-month span.
Yeah, so right.
A big chunk of my hours are about to expire. Beyond that 12 months.
Okay. Qualification hours.
Yeah. So what it is see, I made a video about a year ago with the Mavic 2, with the Mavic Air and the Master Screw Air Props.
Right.
And I got like 3,000 views on it.
Oh boy.
And it was like a 20-minute video. So I had humongous watch hours on that video.
Yeah.
Well, I made the video in April.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the middle of April, I'm going to go down to like 1,500 watch hours.
What is your anniversary month, Bill?
Huh?
What's your anniversary month? That's what it's based on.
I don't know for sure. I'm trying to think. Hang on, let me look.
I'll find out real quick.
I'm thinking April. I think it is April. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking it is April.
Well, I know it'll be April for ArtCo. I think it's April for the Arts Place Fishing.
April's yours?
Yeah. So I'm coming up on 2 years on both of those.
August is yours.
All right, cool. That's cool.
August 14th.
So that's 3 days after my birthday.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I keep bouncing between 2 and 3, but I got 10 thumbs up. That's good.
11. I'm showing.
Well, guys, I'm hitting pretty close to 220, so I'm about ready to shut this bad boy down.
What are you going to do, Art?
Well, I'm probably going to take a nap before I go on Mitch's live stream, and then go from Mitch to Ken. I hope he doesn't do over a 2-hour show tonight.
Who, Ken or Mitch?
Ken. Well, Mitch always took 2 hours.
Well, I posted in that link. Sean Oz is the guest tonight too. On.
Oh,
I need to help you guys out. I don't know what is in the screen, the TV screen.
Okay, I'm going to go too. Love you guys. See you at the
All
wild.
right, take care.
Bye
Bill.
bye. Thanks, Art.
All right, take care.
Take
Steve.
care, Jody. Thanks for coming in. See you later.
All right, everybody.
That's RV. Howdy, and we're out of here.
Okay. All right, let me hit that end broadcast. And now, see you later, everybody. Have a great day. See you at the other streams. Goodbye.